trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning. Skip to school, that's what truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning. I had me a pop by the morning. I had me some breakfast by the morning. I had a six by the morning. I got on a mint on the morning. The rest keep me up on the podium. I had a in my shoulder. You got a picture. You got the picture me. Pacific ice on the ocean. Ready for war like I'm Russia. Ladies should never look luggage. My diamonds they tussling. My neck and my belly. They call it for me and they. You want me like me and I look. Yeah. Her Rex on her. Yeah. B-Rex better calm down. Yeah. If you go around, come around.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, the NFL's active leader in passing yards, Drew Brees, and the New Orleans Saints do battle with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. A few moments ago, it was Desmond Trufant of the Falcons making their way out of the tunnel to the delight of this sold-out crowd as his guys get set to do battle with Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. Charles Davis. And Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the first pick of the second round back in 2001, and that's the veteran Drew Brees.
We're not even a quarter way into the season. He's already off to a pretty nice start. NFC Offensive Player of the Week in last week's game.
Yeah, week 2, he was electric. Let's see what week 3 has in store. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. On 1st and 10, here's Brees. Catch here, left side, Thomas. A look at the numbers for Thomas from a week ago. I asked him before the game, did you know that you were close to 200 last week? He said, oh, yeah, I knew I was right on the doorstep, just short of it, but a touchdown as well. Heck of a game.
I like that he was honest with you because they always know. They keep track in their head. They understand their yardage. But how'd you like to be the defense this week? This was a week of open field tackling practice because you know he's going to get his catches. The key is to limit him after the catch. Put him on the ground.
Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make this a second down. And a look now at the offense for New Orleans.
And running back Mark Ingram is coming into his own as a runner in the NFL. Over 1,000 yards each the last 2 seasons. And now he's teaming with Alvin Kamara in a backfield where both of them can run the football effectively and both of them can catch out of the backfield as well.
Here's Brees to throw. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he gets it down to the 32. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Ready?
Throwing on 1st down is Brees. Flushed out right. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on his first drive. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
He hits his target, left side, Watson. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So our initial drive this afternoon results in 3. Not sure that that's a statement necessarily, but getting points on the road, never a bad thing.
You're exactly right about that. I love how you framed it, right? Not sure it's a statement, but at the same time, you're putting something out there, aren't you? Letting them know, hey, we came to play today.
So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. As we get a peek at Matt Ryan, a man who's been in the league since back in 2008.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Ryan to throw. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that's caught inside the 35. A big play there, Ryan to Jones. 42 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
On 3rd down, Ryan swings it out to the flat for Freeman. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So a field goal try here on 4th down as the Falcons call on Matt Bryant. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. And heading back out there now, the Falcons defense here. And despite being down on the scoreboard, this unit, they've had some big-time hits.
But when it all comes together and you get the field goal block that's been designed, that's been drawn up, everyone has to feel good about on that side of the ball. How about that one there? To the left side, knew what they had. That's where they wanted to be, and they got their designated guy turned free.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Out to his left. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
Here we go.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Force the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route, the drag, and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
On second down, Kamara. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. Throwing now is Breeze. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board. Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield. The numbers for Freeman a week ago. 19 carries, 72 yards.
I was so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap ski.
And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Alex Okafor in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
Pushing through the contact. He won't go down. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right?
And Freeman lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Craig Robertson coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. And, Charles, they only needed a yard there. They try to pass the football. What do you think?
Well, I can't really go all out and kill them for the call because that 3rd and 1 fake and throw it over the top for a big play, that often does work. But in this situation, the pressure got to him.
Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see when they decide to do the play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback. Get a little confidence in him and let him fling another one.
Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his 2nd season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Will Lutz on for the point after. Lutz with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This will be fielded at the 6. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Oh, boy, partner, did that just happen? I've got my hand over my eyes right now because, like him, it's going to haunt my dreams, too. He was wide open. How did he overthrow him there?
Defensively, just very lucky. You know that they got away with one there.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Alex Okafor in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Nifty move. Oh, and now he bowls him over. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29. A give. This is Kamara. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle. Now Brees on 3rd down. He sets to fire deep. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now on is the field goal unit. And, boy, this is speculative at best, crazy at worst. And Lutz puts this one through. And that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. And this stadium is abuzz after that one, understandably so. I cannot believe he hit that thing.
And you can't help but think back to Tom Dempsey. And his record stood for, what, 43 years until Matt Prater broke it? And now here's a new record. And I'm with you. I cannot believe that ball went through the posts.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. And here now come the Falcons. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays, getting into the backfield.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Trying to get that in the hands of Devontae Freeman that time. 3rd down here.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one. And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and puts your defense in a bad spot.
And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Tackle made by Devondre Campbell. Here's Brees. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And Lutz's kick is good. And that will stretch the lead to 3 scores now at 19-0. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it. Rest of the game. And that does get in your mind a little bit, and sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tacklers.
And the defenders know it, too. They sniff that out, don't they?
Everybody wants to swarm the football. You know the rule is first guy hold up the runner, everyone else try and get there and strip the ball free.
This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Ryan to Sanu, good for an Atlanta first down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, they picked up the first down for him, too.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he finds a man with a crossing route. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Ryan under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Alex Okafor able to disrupt yet another pass play. His third sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So 2 missed field goals for him now, and that's helped keep them with a big 0 on the scoreboard.
Well, it's not the only reason they have a 0. The offense has been bogged down a few times now, but it's certainly not helping the cause any at all.
He'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And nothing but daylight ahead. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. Lutz good on the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Ryan will throw again. He goes underneath to Freeman. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
To throw on third down, Ryan, and it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he loses the football a second time. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
And I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well. Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And Bryant's kick is good. And that'll put us within 3 scores as it becomes now a 23-point game. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier. And this time, there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here, and following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And that one will go for 13 yards on the keeper and a first down. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. On second down, Ingram. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Now they'll throw with Breeze. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that'll make it second and short. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Breeze to throw on 3rd and 1. That's complete to Meredith. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. They'll run with a rookie. It's Boston Scott. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Stepping up, and he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Drew Brees. with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Saints are pouring it on. And maybe that was just a case of completely overlooking the guy holding the football.
It certainly felt like it, didn't it? Because on my checklist, okay, as a defender,
from midfield, here's Breeze. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
the name of the game is always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the second interception in the first half.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. And, folks, this is a 67-yard attempt. So yet another field goal to end a drive that has... Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Ready! We're waiting! 59 Mike, check, 59.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. He's going to walk. And got his man complete. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And Lutz puts this one through. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll begin at Bank of America Stadium. Cincinnati in town to take on Carolina. And they have just about gone to halftime with the Panthers out on top. Cam Newton's thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we head to Minneapolis. Check on the Vikings at home at US Bank Stadium. And you can see they trail the visiting Buffalo Bills in that ball game. Josh Allen has thrown a touchdown pass.
And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This will be fielded at the 8. And they are finally going to stop him, but what a return. All the way to the 10.
Similar to golf, you never want to count a score before it actually happens, but you have to figure. They thought they were going to get 6 on that play. Great effort to keep him out of the end zone, but a big-time return.
On first down, Ryan. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on second and goal, back even further.
Hey, boys, got four down. Ready, 5, 25. 56, Mike, ready, go.
Here's Ryan. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. First and 10, it's Ryan. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Now, and he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a fourth down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. Dan Quinn's guys unable to come through there on fourth down. And the Saints will have the football back. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any fourth down stop is a big momentum play.
And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their fourth pick of the game. Instead, second down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there, because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And as is to be expected, this is nowhere near being good from that distance. And this score will stay right where it is. I got nothing after that try.
Yeah, don't even try.
I mean, he tried it from the parking lot. They'll run here with Freeman. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be second and goal.
Some good, strong running right there, some power and some...
Breeze to throw on second down. Eluding the pressure right. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a first down. Breeze going to throw. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. They go with a fullback line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
I get the thought process. 3rd and short, give it to the fullback, let him bulldoze his way, but that means you're counting on your offensive line to win the line of scrimmage, aren't you?
Yeah, and there was just a mass of bodies there at the line. Looked like more defenders than offensive guys. Winds up losing yardage. Now Breeze. That is caught at the 7-yard line. He cannot wiggle free. They stop him at the line on 4th down.
Here we go. Ready. We're waiting.
Breeze is looking to throw. And he will find Scott on the right side complete. It's a gain of 14 there, and that should be enough to get him home free.
Well, they got the yardage they need. Needed there, picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as the understanding where they are on the field?
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run on 1st down. Scott, and he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Breeze going to throw here. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Drew Brees with a kneel down, and that ought to do it. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. That one looks like he'll throw here. And it's caught. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They'll run with a fullback line. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
This will be taken in at the 1. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. So they still need a miracle with the clock where it's at, but they get one piece to the puzzle done.
Still have hope.
Okay, so they got the score. Do you go for... Oh, it's blocked. This is going the other way. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I remember when they changed the rule, and there's a lot of consternation, especially coming from the kickers. Okay, how's this going to affect things, having to kick a longer one now? Much more of a field goal attempt. And the defensive guys saw it as an opportunity to get more blocks.
That's exactly right. There's more effort now. Before, when it was snapped down near the goal line, you would basically see guys just stand there.
Yeah, not anymore. Now, those guys are going after it because not only can they knock it away and change a little bit of momentum,
and get 2 points.
They can pick it up and take it back for 2 points.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Ready? You ready?
Brees to throw. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. And Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Saints, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll have another road date next week with the New York Giants.
Let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
Superstars out, brand new cars, we by the bar now, swing doors now, smash, shots and goals, rock the shows, big bang rolls, cash, now she go, for the team, now she don't ski, splash, think about post now on the ground, man the leader, whole gang in the field, we don't do bleachers, pocket splitters, don't think I'm ready, you got that swag, you got that salt, that sell it, my way bailing.
Start your week by installing your game plan.
Now I got